and hit it. That was Josh playing us in with his new weird instrument.
It's called a U bass.
Is it U?
U
Or is
hyphen bass.
U hyphen bass.
Yes, because it's about the size of a ukulele, and it plays bass.
And it's got rubber strings?
Has rubber strings on it, and it is made by Kala.
By Kala.
Yes, they which is also the brand of ukulele that I have.
Awesome.
Kala, you are helping fund. Well, not fund. You're
We're
helping
not
bring. No, you're not funding in any way. You guys are helping make all this jibber jab happen.
The magic.
The magic.
Yeah.
Yes. Magic.
Also, welcome to our show.
Oh, hello.
We went to the zoo.
We'll talk about that later.
I'm Kevin Fennell.
I'm Josh Gerwin.
And this is our new episode. We've been gone for a little bit. We had a repeat last 2 weeks ago.
Yes, we
had a repeat because we had a couple interesting intersections of our, schedules.
Yeah, schedules get pretty crazy with these actor types.
I mean, theater kids, they do a lot of stuff, and they're always doing stuff, and then we're always doing stuff, so, it happens.
We're doing something right now, actually.
Yeah, we're all doing stuff
We're
in this
making
world.
a podcast right now.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Also something fun
Boom.
that Kevin and I are starting to do.
Yeah.
We're both involved in the live action performances of Bob's Burgers episodes.
Bob's Burgers.
Over at Tattooed Mom.
Yeah, we had an episode a couple episodes back with Creatures of the Night creator Anthony Taylor, who does Bob's Burgers episodes live action,
as well as other.
He does other events at Tattooed Moms too. Really cool place.
Absolutely.
Josh was in it last time as Gene.
Yes. And Kevin has been passed the torch.
I'm Gene, and Josh is Bob.
Yes, I'm going full Groucho Marx with my mustache.
Yeah, he is. What about Bob?
What about him?
Yeah.
What about him? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just something we've been doing. We had our first show last night. Only one of us got injured.
And that one was Kevin.
It was me. Yeah,
he hit his head really hard.
Oh yeah, on a bumper car.
If you
don't think you're gonna hit your head on a bumper car when you're not at Dorney Park,
right?
A fair, Ocean City, New Jersey,
I could see
Toyland, Playland. Those are places you can get your head hit on a bumper car, and it would be like that makes sense.
Yep. Not on South Street.
Not on South Street in a bar.
No,
but that happens.
If you haven't been to Tattooed Mom, which is a wonderful place, it's my usual hangout.
It's a very nice place.
It does have bumper cars as some of the seating that you can sit in.
Yeah.
Which is usually wonderful.
Yeah, it's a very cool little seat to have.
But when you're...
They are made of metal.
Yes. And when there's about 60 or 70 people in the room and you're trying to navigate your way through there, it can be a tad bit difficult, I would imagine.
Particularly when you're jumping.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I did, and I hit my head on a bumper car.
Man.
Got a big old bump on my head. It's okay, though. I'll be all right. I'm a trooper.
This week there's been bigger there's
nothing else going on in America this week.
Nothing
sure.
happened. Nothing else happened at all.
We do have we have our interview coming up. We have Marc Johnson, the director of the play Clybourne Park. Great show. Absolutely. At the Drama Group in Germantown at the First Unitarian Methodist Church of Germantown. Fume Cog. Yeah. The Fume Cog.
Who does
yeah.
Fume Cog?
And we're We're going to talk about it later with Mark. Well, I am, because Josh wasn't there, sadly, for the interview.
I was not.
But we talk about it. It is a sequel of sorts to Raisin in the Sun.
Really?
Yeah. By a different author.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's a bit
but it has, like, the blessing of the original author.
Huh.
Yeah. Mark goes into it, but it's just like it's like a sort of sequel. It's like same world, same universe. It's like the Marvel universe of theater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because at the end of Raisin the Sun, I don't know this.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson comes in.
Right.
Yeah, because he wants to connect. He wants to get a group together to protect the world.
Oh, right. Yes. That's exactly how.
That's what happens in Raisin the Sun.
Yeah. We want to come up with a team.
A team, yeah.
That's what he said.
And that team's called Clybourne Park.
Right.
Yeah. So this play is just the team up of. So it has like people from Raisin the Sun. It's got some characters from Fences. It's got it's got a couple characters from. It's actually got one of two of the Odd Couple. It's just Felix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just Felix.
Yeah.
They couldn't get the other guy, Oscar, I think.
Yeah,
sure.
Couldn't get Oscar.
And they also have a additional play that I can't think of. Oh, they've got the guy from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes.
The chief, the big chief. Yeah. Because at the end of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Samuel L. Jackson also comes in and he gets the chief after the chief has done something that would be a spoiler if you haven't seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Right, exactly.
So, Clybourne Park, like I said, is a mashup movie of characters from plays to protect the Earth.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Tarantino.
It's exactly like Tarantino.
Yeah.
And that's what Josh is always going to think Clybourne Park's about.
Nope.
Ha ha!
I do remember hearing about Clybourne Park when I was in school for a little bit. Very little bit. But I do remember hearing about Clybourne Park being written, in the same vein as Raisin in the Sun.
Yeah.
I always found that pretty cool.
The thing I hold a thing.
You hold the thing.
Sound effects.
Hey,
it's a piece of paper.
Put that
it says it's a sharp and insightful comedy.
Hey.
Isn't that great?
Well, don't cut your finger.
I won't. Paper
Don't
cuts. You gotta watch out.
Speaking of some cool, sharp, and witty theater that's
what else is going on?
There's so much in the Philadelphia scene.
So much.
And we have a couple of ones that are going on. The ones that are closing very soon. We have a show called Delirium, Ego Po Classic Theater.
Ego Po.
And that one is closing on November 13th, so that's going to be going from starting on October 26th. So that's going to be closing soon. We have a show called The City of Conversation, which has been talked about a lot.
The City of Conversation.
Yeah. And that one's over at Delaware Theater Company, actually. So it's not actually,
not in Pennsylvania.
It's not in with us, but it's very close by. Basically, as it says, in 1979, a time when Washington, D.C. was a place where adversaries fought it out on the Senate floor and then smoothed it out over drinks. That would all change. Taking place over the course of 6 presidencies, this story follows Hester Ferris as she is forced to choose between her family and her lifelong political causes.
Cool.
So it seems to be poignant.
Super poignant.
Yes, very much so. And then another show over at Theater Exile, which is closing on the 13th as well, is called The Guards at the Taj. And this is another show that is very more recommended as well as The City of Conversation. So those are the ones that are closing out soon. Some other ones that we have here.
Just working,
which at Bristol Riverside, Yeah,
our friend Nate Dolly just auditioned at Bristol Riverside.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Jesus Christe, a superstar.
Oh, yes. That's the I like that version. That's the bossa nova version.
Yeah, right? That's exactly what it is.
Yes. Jesus. Okay, we can't sing it because we'll get in trouble.
We're always going to get in trouble.
We're always getting in trouble.
Have you got any auditions lately, Josh?
Have I gone to any auditions? You know what? I've just been showing up
Just showing
places,
up and
people
getting
are
parts.
just showing up and getting parts. That's it just doesn't take any effort.
I mean, that's the dream.
I just grab them by the character shoes, and I just get what I want. That's how it goes.
I mean,
I just do that. It's
nothing has happened in
this.
Because nothing has happened this week in America.
Nothing's happened this week. Yeah, nothing's happened this week.
Guys, nothing has happened this week in America.
Yep, we're just joking. We're just joking about things that haven't happened.
Nothing's happened in America.
Nope, nothing's happened.
Anyway, that's Theater Philadelphia.
Yes, there are plenty of other shows. If you get a chance, you should go check out theaterphiladelphia.org, or my favorite one, which is lmgtfy.org.
Yeah.
Let me Google that for you. .org.
Sure.
Check that out.
Let me Google that for you. .org.
And I would search theater in Philadelphia, and it'll probably take you to Theater Philadelphia.
.org.
That's probably where it would.
Yeah. In the meantime, like us on Facebook.
Make sure you do.
Facebook.com/
This is how you get your prizes, your prizes.
We went to the zoo. If you just like us on Facebook, you can get free tickets to shows. We gave away tickets to Clybourne Park.
Oh man!
Yeah,
and
it could have been you, but it wasn't because you don't like us on Facebook, which is sad.
Lame.
Yeah.
Also, you should be on the lookout soon because we are going to start posting our actual date for We Went to the Zoo Live.
Yeah,
which is going to be over at Tattoo.
And just so you know, we are not going to a zoo.
We're not going to a zoo.
It's just going to be a live version of us talking about when we went to the zoo. Eventually. If we can get to it.
And we will.
We hope so, honestly.
Yeah.
It would be great if we did.
Yeah, definitely.
But no promises. But yeah, we're gonna start talking about that. Yeah. Look out.
There's going to be all kinds of live shows. And we're going to have so many cool actors. We're going to be giving a bunch of prizes that night. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
Just go to, and you can also go to YouTube and look us up on there. Subscribe to our YouTube page.
Check out every episode.
And then you can email us at wewenttothezoo@gmail.com. Yeah. Those are some things you can do. And right now, you can just sit back and relax as we
watch the show.
Don't watch anything. It's listening.
Listen to the show.
Listen to the show.
Listen to it. Yes, yes.
Say goodbye to Josh.
Bye.
We're going to miss him.
Bye.
Continue listening to G-Town Radio.
The sound from Germantown.
Yeah. 1 and 2, we went to the zoo. I am Kevin Fennell. Sadly, no Josh today. He is going to Lancaster to play bass for some band. Because that's what Josh does. Man, plays bass. We're going to miss him. But we have a very special guest today. We have Marc Johnson.
Good afternoon.
Hey, what's going on, Marc?
Not much.
Now, Marc and I go way, way back. Because we were in a show together right when I got out of college. That must have been 2010, 2011, something like that.
Yeah.
And right now you are doing what?
I am directing the drama group production of Clybourne Park by Bruce Norris.
Bruce Norris. And I read somewhere it's like a spin-off almost.
Yes. So it's in a way it's a sort of a sequel to Raisin in the Sun.
Yeah.
In a sense that, so in Raisin in the Sun, for those who haven't read it or seen it or whatever, there's a family, they're leaving their home and they're moving to a better neighborhood, Clybourne Park. Mm-hmm. And one of the characters is the person that they're talking about in Act 1 of Clybourne Park, moving into the neighborhood.
Okay.
So in Clybourne Park, there's a couple in Act 1, and this takes place in 1959.
Okay.
In Act 1. And there's a couple, and they're moving out of their house, and we see them in disarray. They're just packing and they're ready to go. It's a Saturday, and their moving truck is coming on Monday, mm-hmm. and the neighborhood association comes along and says they find out that so to back up a little bit, the neighborhood it's an all white neighborhood.
Okay.
Sort of a section of Chicago. There isn't really a Clybourne Park, I think, in Chicago, but it's sort of
the idea of it, and
exactly.
calling it Clybourne Park and that kind of thing.
Exactly. And so the
Shaker Heights, that kind of stuff.
Exactly that. And I think they actually make mention of another neighborhood in the play. I think that is real, not fictitious.
Sure.
So in any case, the neighborhood association come to the couple who are moving, and the one person, actually, the representative of the neighborhood association, comes and says, "Hey, do you know who the house is being sold to?" And you're like, "No." And he says, "It's a black family." Well, he says colored, but he's like, "No, that doesn't sound right." And then there's a big conversation about how the neighborhood will change.
Yeah.
So one comes in, then there's going to be another, and then another. Of course, they sold the house a little bit cheaper than the market value for a very good reason, which you'll have to come and see the play and find out why.
Okay. So Raising the Sun ends with the family moving out.
Yes.
Clybourne Park begins with that family about to move in,
Correct.
with the last family moving out.
Exactly.
Okay, that's awesome.
It's very
that's super cool.
Super cool.
And it's a different writer, though.
Yes, Bruce Norris sort of, took liberties, I guess, or in a way he was sort of. I think he actually contacted the playwright before he did it.
Yeah.
To kind of make sure that it was okay, because he used the same characters' names.
Sure.
From Raisin in the Sun.
Yeah.
Nina, great aunt, or the aunt, or the woman who's moving in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because we actually hear about her in Act 2, which then takes place in 2009.
Yeah.
So the house is now in disrepair.
Okay.
And of course it's 50 years later, and the demographic of the neighborhood has changed from predominantly white to all black. And now we have a young white family who want to move into the house and make some changes. And this clearly, raises people's ire because of gentrification.
Sure.
Just the genetic makeup of the neighborhood at this point. All those things come into play. So you have a family who, they mean well, they just want to move in and be good neighbors, but then you have people who are now part of the new neighborhood association who are now questioning, what does this mean? So basically, when one moves in, then another, then everything changes. Taxes go up, people who are on fixed incomes will be priced out and may have to move out. And we find that in Chicago, in Philadelphia, and across the country, basically. So it's a very interesting play, and if you can imagine, it is a comedy.
Yeah, really.
So there are very poignant and funny moments that are laughed out loud sort of funnies, and sort of uncomfortable sort of laughs.
I mean, Raisin has funny lines.
Oh, it does.
Funny,
Absolutely.
like great moments.
It's
and
fantastic.
so it's that kind. I mean, that's more natural anyway.
I think
theater.
so.
And like you want to kind of mix the front and back, especially more like with contemporary pieces. You have to, because you can't just go. You can just go bold,
right,
like slapstick.
But I think that the real life comedic moments are what make it more believable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Slapstick has its place, of course, but I think the way Bruce Norris wrote it, like most playwrights, whatever, it's real life humor, and then it is funny, and I think you will laugh and generally find it amusing. I don't think anybody's going to be offended by anything. I think it's going to be a good time for everybody.
How did you find the piece?
Well, they did it, the production of it at, I think at the Arden a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And I had every intention of going to go see it, and I missed it.
Uh-huh.
But I read about it, and then I got a copy of the play, and then I read it, and then I read it again, and then I read it again.
Yeah.
And again. And then I pitched it to the drama group board, which is made up of Bob Bauer, Sandy Bauer, Wayne Snover, the rest of the crew.
Yep.
And they said, okay. But our challenge was how we stage it. We don't have a big fancy
Nope.
area where you can, flip the stage around or anything like that. So, there's certain things that are in the play that we couldn't put in on the stage. So they make mention of a huge fireplace with a beautiful mantle. We couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So we did what we could, and it all takes place in one room. It's
Sure.
the living room. So we have an upstairs. So there are stairs to go upstairs, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then there's a kitchen that you don't see, and a basement that you don't see. But I think even in the regular productions, you never saw the kitchen or basement anyway, so
No.
it wasn't that big of a deal. But what'll be interesting is the change from Act 1 to Act 2, and how the house will look.
Yeah.
And that is kind of fun, kind of doing that. Kind of you're dismantling the house in a cool way. So, but I think it'll be a good conversation piece for anybody who wants to come to the talk back on how how it impacts them. And I think it's a story of Germantown too. I mean, it's nice that we're doing the play in Germantown, and how in the 1954 to 56, there was a huge influx of African Americans coming from the South. So it was the Great Migration. Yeah. At the same time, there was the quote unquote white flight going on. Mm-hmm. So when black families were moving in, the realtors were telling people who were in the neighborhood, saying, hey, whisper down the lane, you better get out of here because they're invading us. And so just to get out, they would sell their house at a discount price, basically, and then off to the suburbs. And then also it was the advent of roads and cars and suburban houses and space. And that was very appealing for people. So it was a lot going on at that time. And so Germantown went from predominantly German
weird
to what it is now. But there were some people who stayed, and some people who actually have moved in to Germantown. And I think you'll find that in Act 2, it's the house that they're moving into that they actually want to make changes to the house. It's not so much they want to move in, it's that they want to make changes. And so the historic preservation folks have come in and said, hey, look, this is what the house would look like, this is how we think they should stay, and they want to, almost raise the house, almost destroy it, and then build it back up again and go even higher than where they are.
Okay.
And I see that all over the city.
Of course you do. Yeah.
In Germantown, I see it in Manayunk, I see it in Center City.
Fishtown,
which was, it's the hip place to be.
It is. I mean, it's completely different.
It is.
Oh, it's a completely different place for the better.
It is.
Definitely.
And I think it's funny you said that, for the better, because that's one of the lines in the play. Well, we're changing. It's for the better, and everybody wants better.
Yeah.
But I think it's at what cost?
It is. Yeah.
So like in Fishtown, you have generations of people who have lived in either in the same house or the same neighborhood, and you'll find that it's houses were passed down to their children and then to their children. So you've got 50, 60 years of people who lived in the same house. And again, you're used to a certain amount of taxes, you're used to a certain amount of traffic, and stability as far as neighbors are concerned. But then when people start passing away, or maybe they don't have children, or children don't want to stay there or whatever, and they sell their house, then now we have what we have.
It's crazy. My friends have a house in the Italian market, and they bought it. He bought it 6 years ago, and just watching sadly as people die.
Yeah.
And those people have been there 50 years.
Oh, yeah.
And so those houses are now getting either hopefully sold to people that just want to live there, but also are not getting sold to people that just want to live there, that just want to take that amazing land in South Philly that can sell for lots of money. And
it's prime real estate.
And it's so interesting to think about that in the play and to see that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm all for progress.
Yeah.
And I think it is very exciting. And I have friends of mine who moved down to South Philly.
Sure.
And they're in a neighborhood where, again, generations of people who live there, but they want to generally live there. So they've gotten to know their neighbors.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything crazy to the house. They just want to be in a house, basically.
Have a neighborhood in a city.
And weaving themselves into the fabric of the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the most important thing. You take the temperature of the room or the neighborhood or whatever, and you sort of find your way within it without, causing a lot of consternation or upheaval. I live near Center City, near Chinatown.
Sure.
Just north of Chinatown, north of the convention center, and there was a gentleman who wanted to build an apartment building. Okay, that's great. But so it's a converted warehouse. A lot of converted warehouses in that neighborhood, the Callow Hill neighborhood, and so they're all about 10 stories high. So he proposed his plan to build his tower.
Yeah, it's gonna be humongous.
It was like maybe 15, 16 stories. Glass, steel. I mean, it looked beautiful, but it didn't look like the rest of the neighborhood.
No.
I mean, it just didn't fit. And so, there was neighborhood opposition, and so he's now rescinded the
plan.
The zoning variance.
Sure.
So
it's crazy to think that in Philadelphia there was once a law that you couldn't go higher than Billy Penn. Like, that was a thing that happened for decades. And Billy Penn was once well, at least that building was the largest building in the world for a little bit.
It was.
That's crazy. And then you think about
If William Rouse didn't move forward and get his towers built, basically, Liberty 1 and Liberty 2, but Liberty 1 was first, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything else would have happened. I don't know if Comcast would have had their headquarters here. I don't know if anybody else would have wanted to be here. There's a new building not too far from here that I can see. It's got the big red letters going across the top.
Sure.
And I thought, what's that? And I looked it up and I'm like, oh, it's some kind of pharmaceutical.
Yeah, because I want to be here.
Yeah, it's near Penn, so it makes sense. But I'm thinking, had it not been for William Rouse,
Yeah.
No what happened.
All right, so we should talk about when it's going to be performing Clybourne Park.
Yes.
It's opening tomorrow?
Tonight.
Tonight,
Which
we should say
we're doing a preview.
Is the 3rd of November.
3rd of November.
Where we should probably airing this tomorrow on the 4th.
Yes.
We're going to put this on the
It'll
internet.
be over.
No. It's not. The first night will be over.
Right,
The performances are not
right.
over.
No.
Yeah.
We'll continue on.
The next 3 weekends?
Yes.
All right.
So we'll do tonight, tomorrow. No performance on Saturday.
Okay. 3rd and 4th.
And then we jump ahead back to Friday and Saturday. So 11th and 12th, 18th and 19th.
11th, 12th, 18th, and 19th.
Yep.
This is all going to be on the website for Drama Group.
Yes.
Is dramagroup.org.
I think it's dramagroup.org.
We're going to find out. We're going to take a break. We're going to go to get some ads going. You're listening to G-Town Radio, the sounds of Germantown. I'm Kevin Fennell. No Josh. But we went to the zoo, and we'll talk about that later. So, we're back. Well, I'm back. I'm Kevin Fennell. We went to the zoo. Talk about that later with my guest, Marc Johnson. And we're talking about his show. But right now, we're going to talk about Marc. Marc, so like I said at the beginning, we met acting. So
we did.
You started acting, I assume.
Yeah.
What was the first stuff you did?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Let's go back a bit. So I first started doing. I was doing some runway shows.
Okay.
I was to break into it. I was doing some, bridal shows. It's gonna be a big thing for me in my 20s. I just kept getting booked for bridal shows. So I was a groom. I had to wear a tuxedo.
Sure.
I did a few of those. A couple times I did a pajama show.
Sure.
And then I did it was like a trade show, so it was like sportswear, stuff like that. So,
And you're just standing?
Yeah, you stand or you walk down a little runway thing.
Yeah.
It was. So, I mean, people who are, for the bridal shows, they're clearly looking for something for their wedding. So it was, you walk down, you spin around.
Yeah.
And then
You just have the perfect build? This is just...
at the time, yes, not anymore.
Little gone to seed.
So then after that, then I started trying to get acting gigs.
Sure.
And so little things were popping up. I was doing a little this, a little that. I started really doing theater. That's where I really got into it. I was doing, we had a little theater at my church, and I started, we were just doing one-act plays there.
Awesome.
And then from there, I kind of branched out. I got a manager, and I started, she started taking, sending me out for auditions, and so mostly local stuff.
Yeah.
Print ads, commercial work. I've done a few commercials, which is kind of cool. But theater is, really where I find comfort. It's a lot of fun. And then I started doing stuff for the drama group, and then I did right before I met you.
Sure.
I think in 2009.
Okay.
Or maybe 8. I did my first play with them.
Which was?
That was I'm blanking on what I did. Isn't that terrible? It was a track play. I played a sort of an upstart actor.
Sure.
Blanking. Isn't that awful? That's terrible.
Yeah.
Then after that, I did a play called The Story. I played a reporter. That was fun. And then I did Shrew.
Yeah, then we did Taming of the Shrew. We did a little Shakespeare together. Had you done Shakespeare before?
Yeah, way back in 8th grade.
Yeah? What'd you do in 8th grade?
Well, we did what was called the Best of Shakespeare.
Okay.
So my 8th grade teacher put together all these sort of, monologues. Sometimes we did little scenes from different plays. A Midsummer Night's Dream. So that was that was a little scene that we did. So all gathered around. Here, bottom. Here, this. We did. That was kind of fun.
Got to do mechanicals. It's the best. Yeah.
I am the wall. Anyway, so and then so we did. It was just sort of the best of. Somebody did something from Julius Caesar. Somebody did something from Macbeth. Somebody did something from.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it all sort of made sense in a way. The way they sort of put it all together.
Kind of,
So it was kind of cool. So like little vignettes there. So that was my first
for
foray.
Shakespeare, and then your second came with the drama group.
Exactly. I didn't even audition for Petruchio.
No, didn't even read it. I didn't read it. I mean, either.
I read for somebody. I think I did Grumio.
Okay.
But they said, "Well, read for Petruchio.
Might
See
as
what
well.
happens." So. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, you got the lead. No big thing. We had a nice little time. I got to wear a great Hawaiian shirt.
It looked fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I looked great in that show. I wore a Hawaiian shirt. I wore purple socks. I don't know. I do whatever I do. And I showed up and I texted on my cell phone. Yeah. It was a good show. It was great.
It was a good show.
And then when did you start directing?
I did my first I was co-directing with Colleen Bracken. We did, it was about a year later after Shrew, I did Race by David Mamet.
Right. Yeah, that's right. David Mamet's the best.
Oh my gosh. It's rapid fire. He's very specific.
I never got to actually be in the show, so like how was it getting into like hearing the text every night and stuff?
It was very Mamet-ish.
Yeah.
It was... we were talking about Alan Sorkin earlier.
Sure.
There's a certain cadence.
Absolutely.
To the play, to the words, whatever.
And Mamet just writes it.
He does.
It's just like, and you are so.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's brilliant. It's so interesting. Like just to see it on the page is like 2 words.
Exactly.
Blank. 2 words. It's like he's so interesting as a guy. But
he was amazing. So that was sort of my baby steps into it. But I just wanted to see it. I saw it at the Philadelphia Theater Company.
Sure.
Had done it, and I thought, okay, yes,
Definitely.
This could be my first.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to I needed some assistance, so I had Colleen help me.
Sure.
But one of our actors dropped out.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. It was too late to recast.
Yeah.
So I stepped in.
You gotta jump in.
I jumped in. Luckily, I was familiar with the part.
And you had enough time?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Yes.
Relatively.
Relatively.
I was in a show in college where a girl got so sick she could not perform, and the understudy quit because she had a problem with the professor who was directing it. So the director had to play it, and it was fantastic since she was the ingenue, and it was very weird. And she cast a freshman as the other guy. It was so uncomfortable. And she had the book in her hand.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was so weird. But anyway, yours was much better. I had almost forgotten that happened, honestly. That was nice to remember.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad I could do that for you. So, yeah. It takes you right back, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you had more time to get into the part,
yes.
and it wasn't as nearly as weird,
No,
I bet.
Because the character happened to be black, so I could step right in, and we're playing off another Dante Sapala, who actually
yeah, of course, Dante Zapata. He's got to get on the podcast soon.
Yeah, he's awesome. Who's actually in Clybourne.
Yeah, I heard he is in Clybourne. He's great.
He's fantastic. So he was playing the other attorney. So he and I played off each other. It was very nice. I really enjoyed my time acting with him.
Yes.
He really every rehearsal it was always something a little bit different.
Sure.
It was really cool.
I got to be his love interest.
Yes.
3 times in one show. So I mean,
Awesome.
I know how it is to have chemistry with Dante. 3 times, and one of them was in Greek. Yeah. Anyway.
He is pretty hunky.
Yeah, he is. A runner.
Yes.
No, but he's a great actor.
Yes,
and
he's fantastic.
So you got to step in, you got to play, you got to do Mammoth too, so that's good.
That was pretty cool. So, and then after that, I did, I directed by myself a seminar by Teresa Rebeck.
Okay.
Rebeck.
Yeah. Let's call the whole thing off.
It was really cool. I enjoyed the play. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed.
Yeah, you didn't have to be in this one.
I had to be in this one,
it's
which
great.
is actually, it was a lot. It's funny how the pressure sort of comes off you when you're not
Yeah.
in it. I mean, there's pressure to get the show right, but I don't have to do the lines or anything like that. So I'm just herding cats at that point.
Sure.
You know, I like collaborating more than sort of. I mean, some directors take a different stance on it.
Yeah.
I want to hear what the actors think.
Absolutely.
You're the character.
You're doing it. I mean,
how do you feel?
Once you get on stage, it doesn't matter if I yell. You're going to do whatever you're going to do.
Right, exactly.
So you might as well work with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, all right, you can start here and end there. That's it. Whatever else you do in between is up to you.
Absolutely.
So that part I like doing. So, but sometimes people sort of stray with their intention.
Of course.
But you just
Yeah. That's what that's what the work's for, and that's what you're there to do.
Exactly. So it's good. It's fun, and so now we're doing Clybourne Park, and I didn't think I was going to.
It's a bigger cast, isn't it?
7 people.
7 people. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. The biggest challenge.
Sure.
Rehearsals.
Yeah, I mean, just getting scheduled. I mean, it's ridiculous.
That was that in itself. If you're to be a director, and
it's the hardest thing to do in the world. I mean, that's the reason you need a stage manager. And it's so hard to get a stage manager to be able to have one or to use one and get someone else to sacrifice their life for it.
Yeah,
but
it is a fair amount of time.
Absolutely.
And we had a stage manager, but couldn't quite commit to the whole time. So.
Yeah, which it's. Theater is a time commitment. I don't know if you know this.
I happen to notice. Yeah. I have a woman who is sort of shadowing me.
Sure.
She just wants to see the whole process and what it's like or whatever. And she said, "Yeah, this is quite the commitment." So
it is.
I'm hoping it's not discouraging her. I hope it's, if anything. I said, if you decide to do anything, I said, start small. Do a three-person play or
Yeah.
a 4-person play. Keep it tiny.
Try to find a part where you're going to be smaller and you don't have to do as much of a time commitment.
Absolutely.
It happens. You can find them.
Yeah. They're
Man,
out.
some of my favorite times in college was when I had a 2-scene part where I could just not do anything for a lot of the show.
Yeah.
I played an old Jewish piano tuner in a show. Showed up at the very beginning. Everyone's like, "Oh, look at this kid being old and Jewish." Come back at the end. He's got that Jewish guy, and that was it. That was great. The rest of it is a lot of talking, and I was just downstairs on my laptop.
Theater.
Yeah, that's a great place. All right, so we're going to take another break,
Okay.
and we're going to play some games with
All
Mark. He's excited.
I'm very excited.
Clybourne Park's going to be at the First Unitarian Methodist Church of Germantown, Fumecog, for the drama group for the next 3 weekends in November. So check that out. This is G-Town Radio, the sound from Germantown. All right, we're back. I'm Kevin Fennell. I'm here with Marc Johnson.
Hello.
We went to the zoo, but we'll talk about that later. And as our continuing joke continues. All right, so we're going to start with one of my favorite games, and Josh's favorite game if he was here. It's called Find the Fakesicle.
Okay.
Okay, so the point of this is I'm going to name 4 musicals.
Okay.
3 of which are very real Broadway shows.
Yes.
And 1 of which I've made up.
Okay.
Now, you're going to find Broadway musicals have really weird names. Okay?
Okay.
So this one's a sentence.
Okay.
A dangerous maid out of this world ain't supposed to die a natural death in Ireland. Okay?
Okay.
So the 4 plays are a dangerous maid
Okay.
out of this world
Okay.
ain't supposed to die a natural death
Okay.
in Ireland. A dangerous maid
Yes.
out of this world ain't supposed to die a natural death
And in Ireland.
in Ireland. Right?
Yes.
Those are some dumb names.
Well, depends.
Sure. I bet they're great musicals.
I'm sure
but,
they are. But if I had to take a stab at
Yeah.
it, it seems strange. I mean, it could be, but
Sure.
I don't think it is. But I'm going to say in Ireland.
In Ireland is the Fakesicle.
Yes!
You did do it.
I win!
What do you think A Dangerous Maid is about?
Oh, well, it's a maid who actually likes to,
She's
poison her.
I assume she's a spy.
She's got to be something.
She's probably doing the full thing in a French maid costume, like spying, like has a gun.
Right.
She's, man, I can't believe you got it. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
That's a great one. Man. So now we have another one.
Okay.
So it's Find the Fakesicle.
Okay.
Beowulf, Merlin, Tarzan, Aladdin.
Beowulf,
Merlin,
Merlin,
Tarzan, Aladdin.
Merlin.
Merlin is a musical.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Beowulf. Has
Beowulf.
yet to be made into a musical, which is surprising.
Very
'cause, I mean,
surprising because
there's
I read the book.
And
you
there's
know.
billions of adaptations of all kinds.
Should have said Beowulf. I
should've
thought
said
about that.
Beowulf,
But, God, jeez. Oh.
Beowulf, Merlin, Tarzan.
Oh boy.
All right, and then the last one.
Oh wait. Is it best 2 out of 3?
No, you already got the one question.
Oh, okay.
So you're good.
Okay.
No, the real for the prize is the last one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So this is just another Fakesicle.
Okay.
Say, darling, baby, Babette. Honestly, do black patent leather shoes really reflect up?
I know the last one's real.
Yeah, it has to be. 'Cause I wouldn't come up with that even. 'Cause that's ridiculous.
So what are the first 2 again?
Say, darling, baby, Babette. Honestly,
Okay.
do black patent shoes really reflect up? It's say, darling,
Uh-huh.
baby,
Mhm.
Babette.
And do
Honestly.
Honestly.
Those are the 4.
Babette.
No, that's real too.
That's real too.
Yeah,
No
it's
way.
honestly.
Honestly. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a song in there somewhere.
Sure. I mean,
I'm not
definitely.
gonna sing it now,
Say, darling.
but you know what I'm talking about.
Say, darling, baby, baby. Baby, baby. Because it goes, do black patent leather shoes really reflect up?
I know that musical.
Yeah, do you?
I didn't see it though.
What? I mean, I wonder what it could be about, and why would you name it that? But, you know, to
Sounds
each their
kinda,
own.
You know, a little
Each-
interesting.
Their own.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a new game.
All right.
It's called Wikilium Shakespearea.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I am going to time you,
Okay.
and I'm going to read aloud
Yes.
a Wikipedia article
All right.
describing the synopsis of a Shakespeare play
Okay. Let me put my
without
on.
any names.
Okay.
It's all going to be blanks.
Gotcha.
Okay?
So you're gonna say you do synopsis, but then leave out the names.
I'm going to leave out the names.
Okay.
They're going to be gonzo.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to start right now.
Okay.
Blank has usurped and exiled his older brother, Duke Blank. Duke Blank's daughter, Blank, has been permitted to remain at court because she is the closest friend and cousin of Blank's only child, Blank. Blank, a young gentleman of the kingdom who at first sight has fallen in love with Blank, is forced to flee his home after being persecuted by his older brother, Blank. Blank becomes angry and banishes Blank from the court. Blank and Blank decide to flee together, accompanied by the court fool, Blank. With Blank disguised as a young man and Blank disguised as a poor lady. Okay?
All right. Stop right there.
Any ideas?
Yes.
What do you think?
It's The Merry Wives of Windsor. I'm kidding. No, it's not it. No. It's a popular Shakespeare play. Everybody's done it.
Yeah. I can keep going. Blank now disguised as Blank and Blank now disguised as Blank arrive in the forest, where the exiled Duke now lives with some supporters, including the melancholy Blank, a malcontent figure who has introduced us weeping over the slaughter of a deer.
Oh my gosh. I've actually
Yeah.
done a monologue from this
Sure.
play.
Blank and Blank do not immediately encounter the Duke and his companions as they meet up with Blank, an impoverished tenant, and offer to buy his master's crude cottage.
I can hear people screaming over
Yeah.
the
Or they can hear
radio
it.
saying, "It's blah blah
It's
blah."
blah, blah, blah.
Oh my gosh. Wait. It's a comedy.
It is a comedy.
It's not The Merry Wives of Windsor.
No, it's not.
Oh, wait. Oh, I can't think of it.
It's As You Like
As You Like
It.
It.
As You Like It. All right. But the best part of this is how it ends, because it's a comedy.
Right.
So Blank sees Blank in the forest and rescues him from a lioness, causing Blank to repent for mistreating Blank. Blank meets Blank and falls in love with her, and they agree to marry. Blank and Blank, Blank and Blank, Blank and Blank, and Blank and Blank are all married in the final scene, which they discover Blank has also reported his faults, deciding to restore his legitimate brother to dukedom and adopt religious life. But Blank and Blank, Blank and Blank, Blank and Blank, Blank and Blank and Blank and Blank all get married. Because that's what happens at the end of every Shakespeare comedy.
Right, exactly.
Blank and 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 Blank.
Kind of true.
All right, so since you won,
Woohoo!
find the fakesicle.
Yep.
You can pick a number
Okay.
between 1 and 143.
8.
8. He's going to go with 8. And I am going to vamp. There it is. Number 8 for our fan list. You get 2 free tickets to go see Clybourne Park. It's going to be Matt Fornwald. Matt
Hey,
Fornwald, great guy.
congratulations, Matt.
Congratulations, Matt. You're the winner. All right, it was a great game. So I hope you enjoyed everything.
I loved it. It was fantastic.
Wikilium Shakespearea, still a work in progress, but Blank and Blank and Blank and Blank are going to live happily ever after.
As you like it.
Yeah, as you like it. I'm Kevin Fennell. I'm here with
Marc Johnson.
Marc Johnson. Go see Clybourne Park. Check out dramagroup.org for all information about tickets. It's going to be a great show in Germantown. This is We Went to the Zoo, and you're listening to G-Town Radio. Thank you so much.